Hello, everybody. I don't know if the audio and the video are going to go out of sync on this again, but just live with it. I don't know because it's time for a week two video update for the Westside Fantasy Premier Awesome Super Friends, whatever it is that we call our league. Anyway, all right, let's get down to it. We got some scores to review and some crazy nonsense to make up. So here we go. All right. Well, let's see. Not to be self-centered or anything, but when I look at Yahoo Fantasy Football, my game comes up first, so that's what I'm going to talk about. Flaming Homers faced Liam Neeson, and this was actually very interesting. And by interesting, I mean it sucked because what happened was the it all came down to one lightly heralded tight end on Monday night who played for the Liam Neeson team. Because basically, where the situation was, the Flaming Homers had a 14-point lead with just a tight end playing on Monday night. Now, this is despite Tom Brady and Wes Welker put together only getting 19.8 points. So I figured I was in for a long night of sort of sitting there hoping that Dallas Clark for the Colts would be, split in half by a tackle or something like that. But I didn't have to wait all night. I just simply, on the very first play, Peyton Manning threw him an 80-yard touchdown, 14 points, game over, Liam Neeson wins. So, good job. I mean, who knew? Dallas Clark came up with 24 big points, and that was the story of the game, 125 to 114. So that puts Liam Neeson at 2-0, and the Flaming Homers have, despite being fairly solid everywhere else, are now 1-1. Now, I know what you've all been waiting for. You've all been waiting for the grudge match between Smell This and the Invisible Cows. Well, it was pretty grudgy. I mean, there was a lot of bad feelings between Jake and Drew, but there wasn't much of a contest. Smell This got a good performance out of Peyton Manning and a couple of other guys. 123 points. It wasn't so much that they were strong as it was the Invisible Cows kind of laid a prairie pie, or what do they call them? Prairie nugget, or whatever it is, with very few guys in double digits. Dwayne Bowe got 11 points, and Ryan Longwell, the kicker, got 10. And when that's one of your highlights, it's rough. It's rough, my friends. So the Invisible Cows are 0-2. They're going back to the drawing boards. I think they get another shot at Smell This later this season. Smell This is now 1-1. So I think that's Drew's best record since Survivor was popular. So anyway, good work, Drew. You are not in the cellar by any means. You're 1-1. I mean, hey. Okay, Smack Attack 3 and Brutta Is. Brutta Is came in with obviously they both came in with one loss. And this one, Philip Rivers went all Philip Rivers on from a fantasy point of view anyway. On the other team, scored 52 points. He also got, let's see, 14 out of Tim Hightower, 15 out of Kellen Winslow, 13 out of Steve Smith, 15 out of the Minnesota defense, 140 points, real solid. Brett is actually had a good game too, 132 points, including 25 big points from Ronnie Brown, that crazy Wildcat. But Smack Attack 3 pulled off the win and pulled even at 1-1 for the year. All right, Jolly Rogers. Now this one is the nail nibbler of the week, no question about it. Going into last night, the Jolly Rogers, Tommy was 1-0 after last week's ridiculous 173-point game, and basically had to get, I think, 6 points, something like that, out of who is it? Reggie Wayne. Needed 6 points out of 5 points out of Reggie Wayne. It was really small. But Reggie Wayne had an incredibly lame night because all his passes went to Dallas Clark, costing me the game. And only got 3.7 points. Ended up Jolly Rogers losing to Ruff the Passer, who is now 2-0, by just 1.1 points. Anything, a tipped pass, kick ball forward that somebody, it could have changed the whole game, but it didn't. Ruff the Passer really didn't have any standouts, just had solid play from a lot of players. Jason Campbell, he's not going to be a standout. But he got 27 points, which is better than Tom Brady this week, I would point out. Calvin Johnson from Detroit, in a losing effort, got 12 points. Roddy White doing his usual 11, 12-point thing. Steven Jackson, there's a name you haven't heard for a while, kind of like Obi-Wan Kenobi. 11, almost 12 points. And Cedric Benson, 14 points. So a win with 112 points is still a win, and that puts her off the passer at 2-0. All right, who's next? DeBiz and You Betcha. Now, if I'm not, no, DeBiz is 2-0. Got 150 some points this week, including 45 from Eli. I think both Manning brothers did pretty well this week. Eli with 45 points. Andre Johnson finally sort of showed why he was a high draft choice. 26 points. Frank Gore with 36 points. What is with that? 152 points. I think this is, if not the whomping of the week, this is pretty close. You Betcha. Let's see. You Betcha had 47 out of Breeze, but really single digits from almost everybody else. 111 points. Not a terrible number, but compared to 152, just not that good. That puts You Betcha at 0-2, and DeBiz at 2-0. So that's that. And finally, reigning champion, the Eye. Actually, I guess I have to say this is the whomping of the week. Ghetto Superstar just found some crazy new gear and got 30 from Flacco, who I sort of think of as Siler from Heroes. 30 points from him, but also 21 from Marquez Colston, 20 from Vincent Jackson, 46 from Chris Johnson. Who is Chris Johnson, and why is he getting 46 points? 15 from Mike Bell, 16 from Fred Jackson. Fred Jackson? Vince Jackson, Fred Jackson, Chris Johnson. Who are these guys? It's like the anonymous squad. But he added all up, and it's 174 points. And I think that's even higher than the Jolly Rogers had last week. So that's, I believe, this year's highest score. The Eye, by contrast, kind of came up a little lame. 97 points this week. Matt Ryan had a good week, as usual. It's always a good week when you're Matt Ryan. Larry Fitzgerald, Carnell Williams, Terrell Owens, but a lot of single digits on that team, and only 97 points. So even though the Eye lined up 119 points against the Ghetto Superstars 118, goes to show you that nobody knows anything, because Ghetto ended up with 174 and the Eye ended up with 97. So that makes them both 1-1, and that makes me think that I ought to review the league standings real quick. I think we have 3 undefeated teams. Liam Neeson, using his Jedi powers to remain undefeated. DeBiz and Ruff the Passer. I will point out, however, that there are teams with higher points than those teams, but that's the way it looks right now. There are 3 teams that have not yet won. You Betcha, the Invisible Cows, and Bretta is. But I think what we're seeing this year so far is a pretty fair amount of balance, and that's good. All right, next week, the Flaming Homers play Smell This in a chance for me to avenge Jake's loss, or whatever. Smack Attack 3 plays Ruff the Passer. Let's see, Smack Attack 3, Ruff the Passer. That gives Smack Attack 3 the chance to knock Ruff the Passer out of the ranks of the unbeaten, or for them to remain unbeaten. Ignore that phone. Let's see, Liam Neeson plays DeBiz. Liam Neeson, 2 undefeated teams. Unless there's the very, 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 very unlikely event of a tie, somebody will leave the ranks of the unbeaten. Jolly Roger play the Eye. That's sort of like the upstart new high point total guy against the champion. So that'll be an interesting one. It's a matchup of Roethlisberger versus Matt. Is it Matt Ryan? Yeah, Matt Ryan. See, I knew that. I knew it was Matt Ryan. And DeBiz plays You Betcha. Basically, did I already say that? DeBiz plays You Betcha. Did I say that already? Oh, you know what? I was wrong before. DeBiz plays You Betcha. What are you going to do? And that's good. Then, let's see. I'm so confused. I've messed up completely. The Invisible Cows play You Betcha. And when you come right down to it, one of them's got to win once again. So we'll see how that goes. And finally, Bretta plays Ghetto Superstar, and so far Ghetto Superstar's posted some pretty good points, but Bretta can put up some points too, so it should be interesting to see. I was thinking I would just start a rivalry right now, like a bitter rivalry, but I couldn't think of who it would be, so I'm going to announce the bitter rivalry of the week next week. I don't know who it's going to be, so that is the video update for this week. Talk to you soon. Bye.